This is a brief captain. Today, I will tell you about the cartoon Magic Dragon. Please like our videos if you enjoy them. What kind of magic is this? Where are the musicians hiding? Long was a glorious emperor. He increased his wealth and expanded his empire. But when the time came to go to heaven, he was stopped at the gates of paradise. The emperor ordered him to let him inside. But the wise god decided to teach the moon a lesson. He turned him into a magical dragon, locked him in a teapot, and sent him to Earth to fulfill the wishes of ordinary people. As soon as the moon fulfills 3 wishes of its 10th master, he will be able to go to heaven. Many centuries have passed since Long became a dragon. His teapot ended up in the poor neighborhood of Shanghai where Ding and Lena lived. They are very similar. They both like to draw dragons. Both of their parents are always busy, and their classmates don't like them. Apparently, that's why they became friends in elementary school. One day, Lena suggested they walk home together, and from then on, it was all downhill. The two of them were always seen together. They got into all sorts of mischief, and their favorite activity was flying kites. One day, they made a promise to each other that they would always be friends. However, shortly after that, Lena's father decided to move. He had worked tirelessly to provide a secure future for his daughter, and now he had a chance to become a wealthy man. Lena said goodbye to Denim and left. The years passed. The city was changing before my eyes, and all this time, I did not lose hope of seeing my old friend again. Now she has become rich and famous. She starred in commercials and participated in photo shoots, but he remained a poor man living with his mother, studied well every day, so he could afford to skip classes to earn some money. He wanted to buy a new suit and come visit Lena on her birthday. I hoped she would be happy. The gift he had prepared for her, and they would become friends again as they delivered another order. They arrived at a ruined house, where a lonely old man in shorts and a t-shirt was sitting. Instead of paying for the order, he handed him the kettle. Here's the old man said he was a god and the day didn't argue he didn't have time, so he took the teapot and ran away. The day managed to get to a cheap suit store before it closed and dressed up for tomorrow's Lena's party, but he was punished at home when his mother found out he was skipping class and gave him a scolding. In the evening, a man named Pocket and a couple of his henchmen broke into the construction site and found the same ruined house where the god had given the day the teapot and realized that the relic was missing. Their client ordered them to find the teapot and was willing to pay them handsomely. That night, the day escaped from home to practice in front of Lena's poster how to behave at a party, but even during the rehearsal, things didn't go according to plan. His costume burst at the seams, and at that moment, a dragon named Lun emerged from the teapot. The dragon revealed that Din had 3 wishes that he was willing to grant. Din initially doubted the dragon's abilities, but the dragon managed to convince him. Meanwhile, Pocket and his men were searching through the construction debris in an attempt to find the missing teapot. Suddenly, they spotted Din on the roof of a nearby building, surrounded by a magical light. When they attempted to take the teapot from him, Din expressed his desire to learn how to fight. The dragon granted Din's wish, and Din successfully defeated Pocket and his men. He used Kung Fu to defeat the villains and escaped home in the morning. He thought he was dreaming, but when he realized that he could fulfill any wish, he asked his mother what she wanted. However, she didn't need grand palaces or a lot of money. She wanted her son to study and become a worthy person. After she left for work, he came up with a wish for himself. This wish would help him win over Lena, but he first needed to reach her home. Here Day asks the dragon to make him rich for just one day. He is sure that Lena will be glad to see him, and it doesn't matter to her how much money he has or in which area he lives. Moon believes that all this is nonsense from his earthly life. He remembers that people like wealth and the rest of his owners always wanted a lot of money. Together with Moon, they crash into a party in a cool car and surprise everyone. Dozens of people are hanging around Lena, and everyone wants something from her. There is only her father, who disappears at work again. When the Day took the moment to dance with her, Lena did not recognize him. He was disappointed. But then there was an opportunity to do something nice for her when the DJ announced the father-daughter dance. Mr. Wang didn't appear in the room, and Lena felt ashamed because dozens of guests were watching her. They then took the attention away from her so that Lena could escape. Meanwhile, Moon, in his human form, flirted with one of the guests, but he had too much to drink and began to transform into a dragon. He had to go to the bathroom and freshen up to become human again. They found Lena crying in the gift room, and they talked. They managed to cheer her up, but she still didn't recognize him when her father called to wish her a happy birthday. On the holiday, he saw Din and liked the boy, because Din was the son of wealthy businessmen, and with his father's blessing, Lin agreed to go on a date with Din. Mr. Van was delighted to have a rich suitor, as his own business was in trouble. His company had gone bankrupt, and the only hope for survival was the teapot with the magical dragon that granted wishes. Carmen tracked down the boy who had taken the teapot and set up a guard outside his house. When Din went on his date, Carmen realized that his client was not just after the teapot. The teapot contained a magical creature, and Carmen wanted to capture it. Get him. Dee and Lena met at a restaurant. They had never been to a place like this. He asked Moon to give him tips, and Dragon's advice only made things worse. First, by not allowing commoners to talk to you, Lena thought you were just another arrogant rich kid and almost left, but they stopped her. Though they didn't get a chance to explain themselves, Pocket appeared with his men and the friends had to run away. They used all his fighting skills to fight off his pursuers, but Pocket also had kung fu. At some point, they ended up at a party and they asked the Moon turn into a fake dragon so that he and Lena could escape. But this trick didn't work either. Pocket figured them out and attacked. Put the scoundrel down. The only way to escape was through the rooftops. Ding and Lena flew away on a magical dragon when they fell into an alley. Ding's expensive clothes disappeared, and the day he wished to become rich had passed. Lena saw a simpleton from a poor neighborhood and realized it was her old friend, Day. She wasn't angry that Day had deceived her. Instead, she was relieved. Lynn wanted to see the house where she used to live with the neighbors and chat with Dinny's mother. She had a wonderful evening surrounded by kind people. But then Lena confessed that she had other priorities in life, and she had to justify the resources her father had invested in her. So she didn't have time for a poor boy, even though he had once been her best friend. When Lena left, Day decided to make his last wish, and he wanted to become rich so that Lena would love him and be able to be with him. However, Moon refused to grant this wish, unlike Day. He realized that the true value lies in the people you care about, and without them, no amount of wealth in the world can make you truly happy. He was able to increase his wealth even with his own family. But when he was on his deathbed, no one came to say goodbye to him. As he was dying, he hoped that at least in heaven, he would be welcomed. But he was sent back to Earth in the form of a dragon to learn the true value of life. As Mr. Wang was telling the story, he discovered that Day had the teapot, and he wanted to take it from him. However, Pocket had other plans. Realizing that the dragon could grant wishes, he decided to keep it for himself. He threw Mr. Wang off the roof and took the teapot. When Moon obeyed Pocket's command, Pocket wished to turn everything into gold. What will the Day touch chased after him, and when they were both picked up in the air by a dragon, Carmen decided to kill Din by hitting him with a golden hand. Lung protected his friend and turned into a golden statue himself. Then Day hit Carmen on the hand and he touched himself and also with a golden stone. Falling Pocket crashed on the bridge and Lung went down. They tried to save him but unsuccessfully. When the Moon appeared in heaven, God was ready to let him into paradise, where they waited for him with fanfare. But the Moon wanted to return to Earth and help his friend even if he had to become a dragon again and serve people. God fulfilled the Emperor's wish, and when he returned, Day made a last wish. He wished that Lena's father would be alive, fulfilling the will of his friend. Noon disappeared into the air. Mr. Van came to Din's house to thank him for saving him. Here he tried Din's mom's cooking and it was surprisingly delicious. Together they opened a small restaurant, and now they didn't need money. In the kitchen of this restaurant, they found a teapot with patterns like moons Teapot, and it really had a magical dragon inside. It told him what would happen on Earth until it fulfilled the wishes of 10 more people. They said goodbye and they left the teapot on the cart of an old man passing by, and with that, the old man was the god who once gave Dinya a teapot. If you like our videos, you can support us on Boosty and get bonuses.